Namaste and welcome, curious minds, to another deep dive.
Great to be here.
Today, we're not just looking at, dusty legal tomes. We're embarking on a really fascinating journey, right into the very bedrock of nations, their constitutions.
Absolutely foundational document.
Exactly. These aren't simply rules written on paper. They are, well, they're living testaments. Testaments to epic struggles, hard-won compromises.
And the hopes, the aspirations of entire peoples.
Yes. They really tell the story of how societies decide, okay, how are we going to live together?
That's a great way to put it.
Our sources today are a unique collection of insights. It's almost like a series of crucial questions posed by history.
And answered by generations, yeah. Revealing the incredible human drama behind these documents.
We're going to peel back the layers, try and discover the pulse of a nation through these texts.
Looking forward to it.
Our mission is to take you on a thrilling expedition. We'll explore the making and meaning of constitutions with powerful, often quite emotional stops in South Africa and India.
Two incredibly significant examples.
We really want you to understand what makes these documents the supreme law of the land, how they shape destinies, forge futures. Okay, let's unpack these incredible stories.
Let's do it.
So let's start with a fundamental question, right? What exactly is the supreme law of a country? That foundational document that meticulously determines, the rights of citizens, sets the powers of the government, and dictates precisely how it should function.
Yeah, that essential framework.
What is that indispensable framework, especially when you've got diverse people, varied interests, all needing to coexist?
Well, the answer, of course, is the Constitution.
Yeah.
But what's truly fascinating here, I think, beyond just the legal definition,
Go on.
is its absolutely pivotal function. It generates a fundamental degree of trust and coordination.
Trust and coordination. Okay.
Think about it. In societies with deep divisions,
Yeah.
maybe historical, maybe current, a constitution provides that common ground. It sets the non-negotiable rules, allowing different kinds of people, different beliefs, backgrounds, economic situations to live together peacefully, productively.
Right. Without that.
Without that fundamental framework, without those agreed-upon rules, the path to fragmentation, even chaos, can open up remarkably quickly.
Okay, and I think this is a key point. While every single democratic country will have a constitution,
Yes, that's true.
it's crucial to remember that not all countries with constitutions are necessarily democratic.
Absolutely. That's a vital distinction. Having a constitution doesn't automatically guarantee democracy.
And that nuance, that really sets the stage for the powerful, sometimes heart-wrenching stories we're about to explore. Starting with, well, a truly dramatic example from modern history.
South Africa.
South Africa. Imagine, if you can, a country just gripped by a system of extreme state-sanctioned racial discrimination. A brutal, institutionalized system called apartheid. Systematically imposed, enforced by the white European minority. Descendants of settlers from centuries ago.
17th, 18th centuries. Yeah.
This was the tragic daily reality for millions in South Africa for decades. It's almost.
Well, it's hard to comprehend that such a system of legalized oppression could exist for so long.
It truly is. And under this apartheid regime, non-white citizens, mainly Black Africans, but also people of Indian and mixed descent, they were systematically treated as inferiors.
In every way.
In almost every conceivable way. Where they could live, work, who they could marry, all dictated by race. And crucially, they were brutally denied fundamental human rights, most notably the right to vote.
Which effectively silenced them politically.
Completely. It stripped them of any real political voice or power, cementing their status as second-class citizens in their own land.
This intense systemic oppression, this daily injustice, well, it quite rightly sparked a monumental struggle.
It had to. It wasn't just political. It was a fight for basic human dignity. You had brave leaders, like the iconic Nelson Mandela and 7 others, sentenced to life imprisonment in 1964, just for daring to oppose this inhuman regime.
Their courage, their resilience.
Yeah.
It's still incredibly inspiring. A beacon, really.
Truly.
Indeed. And it was against this backdrop that the African National Congress, the ANC, emerged as the sort of umbrella body, tirelessly leading the charge against these segregationist policies
like that, right.
for decades, organizing resistance, sometimes nonviolent, sometimes armed, advocating relentlessly for change, enduring immense suffering, immense sacrifice from its members. But they kept that flame of justice alive.
Okay, so here's where it gets really interesting and complex. After years, decades of unimaginable struggle, international pressure, immense sacrifice, negotiations finally began.
A pivotal moment.
For a new democratic South Africa, can you just imagine the tension in those rooms? The history, the fear, the weight of expectation?
Unbelievable pressure on all sides.
The stakes were just incredibly high. For everyone. So what did the white minority who'd held power for so long, what did they agree to give up?
Well, in what was a truly remarkable, you could even say visionary compromise,
Okay.
they agreed to the fundamental principle of majority rule,
Wow.
which meant immediately one person, one vote.
That's huge.
Monumental, a complete overturning of the old racial hierarchy. And crucially, they also agreed to enshrine basic rights for the poor and for workers.
So socioeconomic rights, too.
Yes, recognizing that a stable, equitable society needed that as well.
Wow.
It wasn't just about political power. It was about trying to build a fairer future.
That is an almost unthinkable concession given their history. But for this transformation to happen peacefully, the black majority also had to make significant agreements, showing really an incredible spirit of forgiveness, of foresight. What did they agree to?
They, in turn, agreed that while majority rule would be established, it wouldn't be absolute. It wouldn't be unchecked.
Okay, some protection for the minority.
Exactly. That was critical for easing the fears of the white minority. And, perhaps most importantly, they committed that the new government would not undertake wholesale confiscation of property from the white minority.
A really pragmatic step.
Hugely pragmatic. It was pivotal for ensuring a peaceful transition, rebuilding some trust, and aiming for economic stability rather than immediate retribution. It showed a real focus on long-term national unity.
This incredible spirit of compromise, this willingness to look beyond decades of pain, it culminated in the birth of a new democracy. The new national flag of the Republic of South Africa, those powerful colors symbolizing unity, unfurled on April 26, 1994.
A profoundly significant date.
An extraordinary, truly emotional transition from brutal oppression to hard-won freedom.
And if we connect this to the bigger picture, the South African experience offers a really potent insight
Which is?
that a constitution, even one forged in such deep division and violence, can become a remarkably robust framework, not just for governing, but for healing, for unity.
It provides the architecture for reconciliation.
Exactly. It enables a society to reconcile, redefine itself, and actively shape a new, more inclusive future. It's a powerful lesson in constitutional design for any nation grappling with deep internal conflicts. It shows how a document can embody both justice and peace.
That's an extraordinary story. Profound change. The sheer power of a constitution to reshape a nation's destiny. Wow. Okay, now let's turn our gaze to another giant of democracy, India.
Another fascinating case.
Its own unique and often perhaps even more challenging constitutional journey. A very different path, born from a different kind of struggle, but equally significant globally.
India faced immense, almost unimaginable challenges at its birth as an independent nation in 1947.
The context was partition, wasn't it?
Yes, the country was created through partition, a period tragically marked by widespread communal violence. Estimates suggest, well, at least 1 million people, or 10 lakh, using the regional term, were killed.
1 million people.
On both sides of the new border,
Yeah.
in related violence. Millions more displaced. It was a harrowing, bloody beginning for an independent nation, left deep scars.
Absolutely heartbreaking. An incredibly difficult context to build a new nation in. But unlike South Africa, which had to kind of negotiate its constitution after apartheid ended,
Right, from scratch, essentially.
the makers of the Indian Constitution had one crucial advantage. What was that invaluable head start?
A truly crucial advantage was that a broad consensus, a deeply ingrained agreement about what a democratic India should look like, had already evolved
Over decades.
during the freedom struggle itself.
So it wasn't starting from zero.
Exactly. This wasn't drafting from a blank slate right after conflict. Decades of discussion, debate, popular movements, they'd already laid much of the philosophical groundwork for a secular, democratic, inclusive republic. The blueprint was forming in the national consciousness.
Think about the visionary groundwork. It wasn't just abstract ideas. As far back as 1928, long before independence.
Yeah, way back.
Motilal Nehru and 8 other Congress leaders actually drafted a constitution for India.
Incredible foresight.
And remarkably, it included universal adult franchise. Every adult gets a vote rights to freedom, equality, even protection for minority rights. It was breathtaking, really, a tangible vision.
Indeed. And you had the moral authority of figures like Mahatma Gandhi shaping this vision too. In his magazine Young India back in 1931, he expressed his powerful, simple vision,
What'd he say?
an Indian constitution that would release India from all thraldom and patronage and give the poorest an effective voice.
Powerful words, capturing the aspirations of millions. Social justice right from the start.
Exactly. Emphasizing empowerment.
And then for the institutional scaffolding, the nuts and bolts. The framers made a pragmatic decision, didn't they?
They did. India intelligently adopted many details and procedures, from a colonial law that was already there and kind of familiar, the Government of India Act of 1935.
Even though it was colonial.
Yes. It wasn't about endorsing colonialism, but about practical continuity in a time of immense upheaval. It provided a ready-made, though heavily modified, administrative and legal structure.
Okay. So, with this rich background, popular aspiration, philosophical agreement, but also these immense practical challenges like partition, the Constituent Assembly got to work. Now, just for our listeners, the Constituent Assembly was essentially this elected body representing India's diversity, tasked with drafting the supreme law. Imagine the intellectual power, the diverse views, the debates.
The sheer dedication involved.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, who chaired the crucial drafting committee? The committee that actually prepared the draft for discussion, guiding this whole monumental effort.
That was the brilliant Dr. B.R. Ambedkar.
Ah, yes.
A towering intellectual figure, a champion of social justice. His profound legal knowledge, his understanding of diverse societies, his unwavering commitment to equality, absolutely critical. He navigated incredibly complex discussions with amazing skill.
So after years of deliberation, intense debate, meticulous crafting,
Yeah.
it took nearly 3 years. Right?
Just about, yes.
The Constitution was finally adopted by the Indian Constituent Assembly on November 26, 1949. Now, what's truly fascinating here, and quite distinct from many other nations' experiences, is what?
Is that the Indian Constitution has achieved something really unusual in global constitutional history.
Unusual. How?
For over half a century now, more than 70 years, despite India's vast diversity, its numerous challenges, its vibrant, often very contentious politics. No large social group, no significant political party has ever seriously questioned its fundamental legitimacy.
That's incredible.
Clearly speaks volumes about its robust foundation, the inclusive process of its making, and the profound trust it managed to instill across this vast, incredibly diverse nation. It's a testament to its democratic spirit and its adaptability.
An incredible achievement, especially for a nation born into such turmoil. However, despite this monumental success, this broad acceptance, Dr. Ambedkar, in his concluding speech, expressed a deep anxiety. He called it a life of contradictions. What was the core of that worry?
He worried deeply about the coexistence of political equality, that hard-won principle, one man, one vote, guaranteed by the Constitution,
Right.
coexisting with persistent, deeply entrenched social and economic inequality.
Ah, the gap between political rights and lived reality.
Precisely. He foresaw a future where, in politics, every citizen would be equal, but in social and economic life, they might remain profoundly unequal. It raised that crucial, still relevant question: how do you achieve real justice and equality when historical disparities run so deep? It was a challenge he knew the nation would have to keep grappling with.
A profound warning. Now, the heart and soul of many constitutions, including India's, lies in their preamble.
That opening statement.
Often short, powerful, a philosophical compass, India's preamble with its evocative language. It was inspired by another famous model, wasn't it?
Yes, it draws significant inspiration from the preamble of the United States Constitution.
We the people.
Exactly. That powerful opening sets the tone for popular sovereignty, emphasizing that government power comes directly from the citizens, a principle beautifully echoed in India's own opening.
Okay, let's quickly decode a few powerful terms from the Indian preamble, terms that really capture its spirit. What does sovereign mean here, especially after centuries of colonial rule?
Sovereign means the people of India have the supreme right to make decisions on internal matters and external ones too.
Completely independent.
India is its own master, beholden to no external authority. It signifies complete political independence, ultimate authority residing within the nation itself.
Got it. And the terms socialist and secular now, these weren't originally in the preamble when it was adopted, were they?
That's correct. They weren't there initially.
When were these important terms added, reflecting perhaps a shift or clarification in national goals?
These significant terms, socialist and secular, were incorporated through the 42nd Constitutional Amendment in 1976.
Okay, 1976.
Their addition reinforced the nation's commitment to social and economic equality, aiming to reduce disparities. and also solidified the principle of religious neutrality, ensuring the state treats all religions equally, which is crucial in such a diverse country.
Although that amendment itself was quite controversial, happening during the emergency period.
It was indeed, yes. The timing and context sparked considerable debate.
Right. Finally, the beautiful and maybe sometimes overlooked concept of fraternity in the Indian preamble. You don't see it everywhere. What does it assure?
Fraternity assures two vital things. First, the dignity of the individual, recognizing the inherent worth and respect due to every single person.
Individual dignity.
And second, the unity and integrity of the nation. It implies that all citizens should behave as members of the same large national family, fostering common brotherhood, mutual respect, despite all differences.
A powerful call for solidarity.
Exactly. Collective responsibility in a nation of such incredible diversity.
So these profound concepts, sovereignty, fraternity, they shape a nation's identity. But a constitution isn't just born and then stays static, right?
Absolutely not.
The world changes, societies evolve, new challenges pop up. These foundational documents often need to adapt to grow with the nation. They are, as you said, living documents.
Yes.
What do we call these crucial formal processes that allow for such changes?
These are called constitutional amendments. They're the essential mechanisms allowing the document to evolve, stay relevant, keep serving the people it governs, rather than becoming, a historical relic.
And amending a constitution isn't usually easy, is it?
No, it's typically a deliberate, often difficult process, designed to reflect the considered will of the people while also protecting the fundamental principles from just sort of fleeting whims. It's a balance between stability and necessary adaptation.
Exactly. Stability and adaptation. But this raises another important question. What happens when the challenge isn't about refining the Constitution, but about rejecting it, undermining its very foundation? When someone attempts to overthrow the supreme law, the state itself, when the very fabric of the nation is threatened.
Well, that's where concepts like treason come in, a charge of immense gravity.
Treason?
It's typically defined as the offense of attempting to overthrow or actively betraying the government of the state to which the offender owes allegiance. It really underscores the profound importance the protection afforded to these constitutional frameworks.
It's more than just breaking a law.
Oh, much more. It's about fundamentally challenging the collective pact, that foundational agreement allowing society to function, maintain order, pursue common goals under a shared legal system. It's seen as the ultimate crime against the constitutional order itself.
Okay, so bring this all together. What does this mean for you, the listener, trying to navigate this complex world, from that incredible struggle against apartheid in South Africa,
Leading to that miraculous compromise.
to the difficult but deeply deliberate birth of India's vibrant democracy? Constitutions are clearly far more than just legal texts.
Far more. They are living narratives of a nation's deepest aspirations, its hard-won compromises, its enduring values.
They're the quiet architects of trust, aren't they?
Yes. The unseen frameworks for coordination, the delicate balance required for diverse people to actually live together, they promise both individual dignity and national unity.